Turning setbacks into setups, how challenges shape our success. Let me ask you this. Have you ever faced a moment in life where everything seemed to fall apart? A moment when a door you thought would open slammed shut in your face? We all know that feeling, right? Setbacks. They hurt. They discourage. They make us question ourselves. But what if I told you that those very setbacks, the ones that feel like the end, are actually the beginning of something greater? That every challenge you face is not a dead end, but a setup for your next breakthrough. Today, I'm here to talk about turning setbacks into setups, how the challenges you face, the failures you endure, are not obstacles blocking your path, but stepping stones towards success. Because here's the truth. Life is full of setbacks, but it's how we respond to them that shapes our future. What if the very thing that feels like it's holding you back is actually positioning you for a bigger, brighter future? The key isn't how you see it. The key is in how you use it. I want to share a personal story. A few years ago, I experienced what I thought was the biggest setback of my life. I was working on a project I believed would change everything for me. I had invested all my time, energy, and heart into it, and I was sure it was going to succeed. But then it didn't. It failed. Miserably. The project fell apart, and with it, so did my confidence. I felt like I had hit rock bottom. For weeks, I wallowed in disappointment, questioning everything, my abilities, my path, my future. But then, something shifted. I realized I had a choice. I could stay stuck in that place of defeat, or I could get back up, learn from the experience, and move forward. Slowly, I began to see that failure not as a setback, but as a setup. It had taught me lessons I wouldn't have learned any other way. It pushed me to pivot, to try new things, and ultimately to create something even better than what I had originally imagined. That experience taught me one of the most valuable lessons in life. Setbacks are not the end. They're the beginning of something greater if you have the courage to see them that way. Think about it. Every successful person you admire, every great leader, every visionary, they've all faced setbacks. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. But what did they all do? They used those setbacks as fuel. They didn't let failure define them. They let it refine them. They turned what could have been an end into a new beginning. Setbacks are inevitable. Life will throw curveballs at you. You will stumble. You will fall. But here's the key. A setback is only a failure if you stop there. If you get back up, if you keep going, that setback becomes a setup. It becomes the catalyst for your next victory. I know it's hard to see a setback as anything but a defeat when you're in the middle of it. I know that feeling of disappointment, frustration, and even fear. But I want you to take a moment and think about a time in your life when something didn't go as planned. A time when you thought everything had fallen apart. Now, think about what came after. Did you grow from it? Did you learn something that changed you? Did it push you in a direction you hadn't considered before? Often, the things we see as setbacks are actually life's way of redirecting us towards something better, something we might not have seen for ourselves. It's like a bow and arrow. In order for the arrow to fly forward, the bow has to be pulled back. That tension, that pull, it's what gives the arrow its power. Your setbacks are that pull. They're the tension that builds your strength and resilience, so when the time comes, you can fly forward with more power than you ever imagined. I want you to think about a setback you faced recently. Maybe it was in your career, your relationships, or your personal goals. Got it? Now, I want you to ask yourself this. What can you learn from that setback? How can you use it as a setup for your next move? Turn to someone next to you and share that challenge. Talk about how you can reframe it, how you can see it not as a roadblock, but as a stepping stone to something greater. Because once you start seeing your setbacks as setups, everything changes. You shift from feeling powerless to feeling empowered. The most important thing to remember is this: setbacks are temporary. They are moments, not destinations. But the way you respond to them can shape your entire future. When you hit a wall, when things don't go your way, you have two choices. You can let that setback define you, or you can let it drive you. You can stay down, or you can get back up and use what you've learned to push forward. Think about Thomas Edison, the man who invented the light bulb. He failed over 1,000 times before he finally succeeded. But when asked about his failures, he didn't see them as mistakes. He said, "I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the mindset of someone who understands that setbacks are setups. That's the mindset of someone who knows that every failure is just one step closer to success. So, how do you turn your setbacks into setups? First, you have to reframe your mindset. Stop seeing failure as the end and start seeing it as the beginning of something new. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? Second, take action. Don't let the setback paralyze you. Use it to fuel your next move. Every time you get knocked down, get back up with more determination than before. And finally, trust the process. Know that every challenge you face is preparing you for the next level. The setbacks are shaping you, refining you, and strengthening you for something greater. Because here's the truth: the bigger the setback, the greater the comeback. Every time you fall, you have the opportunity to rise stronger. Every time something falls apart, you have the chance to build something even better. Your setbacks are not the end of your story. They are the setup for your greatest triumph. I'll leave you with this. Life will always have setbacks, but your success isn't determined by how many times you fall. It's determined by how many times you get back up. So the next time life pulls you back, remember this: it's just setting you up for something bigger, something better. Embrace the challenges, learn from the failures, and most importantly, keep moving forward, because the setbacks, they are the setups for the success that's waiting for you. Like, share, and subscribe for your daily motivational coffee.